Go forth, my winged huzzahs, ride like the wind and destroy everything you can see! Hello everyone, Lemonade here with another special scenario review. This is the Battle of Kaesong 936. What makes this so unique is that it was originally meant to be in the Forgotten Empires campaign and Forgotten Battles section, but it was cut due to time constraints. It was added to the workshop, but unfortunately removed. However, our map maker was kind enough to improve on the original scenario, and that is what we have here. It explores the story of Wang Geon and his goal to unite all of Korea in the 10th century AD as he fights Silla and Hibakushe and maybe even the Chinese across the pond. Historically, Wang Geon did succeed and his family would rule all of Korea for several centuries into what would be the Middle Ages. We are immediately thrust into battle at the beginning, and we lose to Green, who is Hibakushe. And here we have Wang Geon and his castle, which we need to protect both, but Wang Geon will be useful in battle, so we will have him fighting out there. And we have a starting army that is useful for protecting our base, as we are put on the defensive right at the start. Hibakushe begins their assault on the palisades, hoping to break through and destroy my base and my castle, though I don't think they were prepared for the towers and the ships guarding the entrance. The green battering rams begin their assault on the palisades. Wang Geon himself reaches the lines too as well and immediately joins the fray. The battering rams and the units inside are the last bits of siege equipment that Hibakushe has early on, and their destruction will make way for an eventual push southward and the eventual unification. First real mission arrives, and that is to liberate the occupied Koreao villages, which, upon doing so, in return for protection, they will give us tributes. Just beginning the first attack here, as well as building some walls to stop the AI from wandering around in the back and attacking my economy in the future. Makes their presence known. The Chinese Tang dynasty has an offer. We give them 500 gold. They open up their ports to trade with, which will make them a viable trading partner. Wang Geon did this all by himself. 2 down, 2 to go. Just gonna go ahead and give China their money to have them trade with us, because our only partner is the villages, and they aren't very far away, and the Chinese will have a very good profit from the trade cogs when they get back. Nothing like sending a scout to get shot at by towers and a castle as well. The Tang have yet another offer. This time we give them 800 gold. In return, we get 20 unique crossbowmen and probably Choku news. My expedition finally arrives to attack Green's base, to destroy that castle, hopefully the tower as well, and maybe even some villagers and units also. Bada bing, bada boom, that castle is no more and it's gone. That's 1 down, probably 500,000 to go, sadly. Hibakushe is now attempting to build a wonder. If Green builds this, it means I'm not just going to have 2 enemies to fight and battle. I have to also destroy the wonder before I lose the game. Yet another expedition arrives. I have brought 2 transport ships with 20 units total, because we're just going to need a bigger force to assault that wonder, as well as build up siege workshops and eventually docks to help harass the economy of Green and ensure that they can't get their offense back. And Green thought they were safe behind their fortified walls. Ha, well, that's not going to work out. With that wonder gone, I can now take my time instead of rushing the enemies and worrying about that wonder timer counting down. It would be much easier. Many brave rams is their service to Koreao. Green thinks they're going to take back the sea. Well, let me just tell you now, that's not going to happen. Just building some docks in China. Nothing to see here. We're just going to be used to reinforce the main fleet. Just going to give China 800 gold for those crossbowmen, and what will they be? And their Chokunes. With some, I think, upgraded stats, at least. Yeah, they have upgraded range, like their Imp Age crossbowmen, which will be helpful. That's the last of Hibakushe's army. The villages will start giving us tributes. I'm going to begin making some siege weapons to attack these castles, who are owned by Red, who is Silla. They are well fortified, but not invincible. I probably should have protected my siege a little bit more. No matter. One more Treb should be able to do it, as it needs only one more shot. It is very low health, and once it's up and ready, that castle will be nothing but rubble. And there's a shot, and it's going down, and it hits, of course, because Trebs are very superior siege weapons. Oh, what's this? A village is willing to join us if we get an army of 25 men. That's going to be neat. Has some nice towers defending it, too. Oh, and it already did it. Guess we're going to have to fortify that now, too. Unfortunately, it does have a Treb outside, and it's feeling so inclined to just start shooting at a nearby tower. Well, that's not going to last for very long now, is it? The red castle's destroyed, and the yellow Tang dynasty becomes the enemy purple Jin dynasty. I can say I may have been a little prepared for this little betrayal, so we just gotta destroy their docks, as that's one of the victory conditions for the game. The betrayal by the Chinese was a catastrophic failure, and it has just ended, more or less, with attacks on their castle with rams, Chokunus shooting at houses, and it's just destruction all over the place, with things being destroyed and rammed down and shot by ships. Meanwhile, over in the Korean Peninsula, the enemy has decided to use their villagers as offense. Only one dock left. The Chinese do have access to heavy demo ships, but it's too late for them to use them here, as this is their final dock. That final dock is gone, they don't have any more villagers, and they won't make any more for some reason, so they're just going to exist for the rest of the game. The reason why this happens is because China was in a civil war and it simulates this effect. The Tang dynasty and the Jin dynasty were in a civil war against one another, so while it's sad that we lose a trade partner, it is historical. But they do have one single ship, that's not enough though. The free southern base I got is a little bit overwhelmed, so I'm going to have to send some halberdiers down there to help fight off the enemy. The mainland is so starved for gold, this will go a long way in helping the fighting effort. The only logical conclusion I could reach is that I should spam more hussars and use those to just overwhelm the enemy. For every hussar that dies, there's 5 more. So even if a halberdier kills 2 of them, I'm just going to be able to send more and more to attack them back and take them out. Their defenses are really failing at this point in the game, and they are losing money. I'm going to need more hussars, as red and green have killed all of them. Just going to destroy red's eco and attack his flank and get rid of some vills. Go forth, my winged hussars, ride like the wind and destroy everything you can see! Red's castle is burning, and it is nearly destroyed by my barrage of trebuchets, which is the last one we need from red, and it's gone. Scylla's last town center, I believe, is on fire, and with that destroyed, they will have no more ways to produce any villagers to make economy. The ancient kings of Scylla resign, leaving Green Habakshay to fight Gurial and Wanggeon alone. The resistance for Green has currently fallen apart, as there is just hussars and trebuchets doing tons of damage to their military buildings, and they are just coming in like raindrops, doing nothing to the whole army as a whole. Green's town center is barraged by trebuchets and quickly destroyed. Through my liberal use of hussars, I have exhausted all my food supply for the time being, and am now forced to use halberdiers instead. The last Habakshay castle has taken critical damage, and a few more shots from the trebuchets should destroy it, and without it there will be no more castles left to fight in Korea. The king of Habakshay surrenders, leaving Gurial and Wanggeon as the ruler of the Korean Peninsula. This was a fun scenario, what could have been in Forgotten Empires expansion. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.